Dude, you remember when the future legit looked like a bubble? Every new piece of tech came out with shiny gradients, airbrushed reflections, and an insane overload of shiny blue orbs. There was a certain period of time where everybody's Windows wallpaper legit looked like this. And yeah, that plus everything else I just mentioned is what we call Frutiger Aero. Frutiger. So, hello, editing Mumu here. This whole video I said Frutiger Aero instead of Frutiger Aero, but I apologize for my mistake. It's low-key annoying me this entire edit. Also, don't make fun of me, because if you make fun of me, you're weird, and maybe like I don't want to be like affected and like be a good person and just say no, it's no problem, Mumu. Like you're such a W. From the mid-2000s to the early 2010s, Frutiger Aero was the vibe. It's the aesthetic of a time when we thought the future was now, before minimalism took over. It was super loud, it was very glossy, and for some weird reason, incredibly wet. Like, I don't know why that period of time was so, like, involved with water. Like, we've all seen that one picture of the dolphin, of the dolphin coming out of the ocean with everything like butterflies and all types of stuff. We all seen that. That's pretty much this era. It's the exact same. Like that's what this is. I really don't know why water was such a major part of that aesthetic though. I don't know. It was cool though. It was cool. Anyways, this is the story of Frutiger Aero. We're gonna be talking about where it came from, why it took over our screens, and how it eventually disappeared. So lock in with me and let's go through a digital time machine together. Okay, to start, we gotta go over some basics, which is what even is Frutiger Aero? Frutiger Aero is a retro-futurist aesthetic defined by its excessive use of gloss, reflections, translucency, floating shapes, and digital optimism. Digital optimism is so true and actually a major reason as to why Frutiger Aero was even a thing. Like, everything was bright and bold and everybody had hope for the future of technology. It was such a weird, it was an interesting era. It was such an interesting era. Oh my god. It was named after the Frutiger font, popular in tech branding at the time, and Aero, the name of Microsoft's sleek UI for Windows Vista. The term was coined by internet culture communities to describe the style we all remember but we never had a name for. So at the time, I don't think it was like fully Frutiger Aero, it was just what it was. But as time progressed, we gave that era a name or a title. But of course, like I've mentioned, it was very shiny. It was a lot of gradients, reflections, and just a lot of shiny like materials for some reason. There was a lot of floating 3D shapes just hovering or whatever. It was just, I don't know, just random stuff, but it looked cool. It definitely looked cool. And the main colors for Frutiger Aero was green and blue. Water was the green, grass would usually be, water was the green. Oh wow. Blue was usually the water, green was usually of course grass or something of that nature. And they were some dope colors to put together in the style that they were putting them together back then. I'm not gonna lie. And everything was over designed in that time period. There was nothing that was subtle. Everything had to like pop and wow and have like a major wow factor. You gotta realize they were trying to sell the internet at you at that time. Not everybody was on the bandwagon, so they had to make it look very interesting and pop and exciting. So it very valid. Some examples of this would be the Windows Vista Aero interface, Samsung and LG phone ads from 2007, Yahoo widgets, weirdly enough, old antivirus software UI, and every single tech promo video with a spinning globe and digital waves. But Frutiger Aero was pretty much the visual language of the future. Like, this is what the future looked like for people at the time. Okay, so why did this look actually take off? Because like I've been saying for a good period of this, at the time it matched the moment. The mid-2000s were an awkward but optimistic transition period. Like, yes, the internet was mainstream at the time, but it was still a little weird. Phones were smart, kind of. Phones were smart. For the time, they were very smart, actually, yes. And everybody just wanted tech to feel like magic. It was a beautiful mix of, like, super clean, while also being very advanced and, like, futuristic. It was a beautiful mix. It was a beautiful mix. Oh, my gosh. And companies, like I was mentioning before, that wanted to sell you stuff, wanted their products to feel like the future. Designers leaned super hard into, skeuomorphism. And hyper-realism. I think I said that first one right. At the time, this aesthetic wasn't just like a style, it was more of like a promise for what's to come in the future of technology in the world. Now, did they lie? I don't think they didn't lie, but did they follow through? No. Look at where we're at today. Speaking of where we're at now, let's go through some more aesthetics throughout the past like few years to decade. From Frutiger Aero to where we're at now. I am gonna be reading these off. My memory is not that crazy. I'm sorry. Frutiger Aero, Frutiger Aero. I don't know if I've been saying that right this whole time. I've just been rushing the word because I don't like that word. That first word is nasty. But that was from 2003 to 2010. Then we had the flat design. This is 2012 to 2015. Apple dropped skeuomorphism with iOS 7. And suddenly everything's flat. It's like white, Helvetica. It's just everything is super flat, super clean. And y'all know how iOS 7 looked. Y'all remember, I hope. This is a small one, but from like 2014 up, we had like a material design by Google. It added like subtle shadows and layers to a flat UI just to give a little more depth. And it was still minimal, but it's very, very user-friendly. Now we're getting a little closer to where we're at today in the big 25. We got new morphism and skeuomorphism revival. This is the 2020s. It was pretty much like throughout the past few years, there's been like a slight attempt to revive what we had back then. Still keeping everything clean, but just adding a touch of what we used to have. And then from 2023 to like now, we have core, chaos core, and retro futurism. These are all very TikTok coded. This is a very TikTok like esque era of time. But core, like chaos core and break core, like that type of stuff is super cool to me. That's so cool, especially music wise. It's super fire. We legit cycled from like over designed, then we went under designed. Now we're trying to get back to over designed, especially with Apple's like latest iOS 26. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if y'all are like going crazy because of iOS 26, you're like, I'm on iOS 18. Like, what did I miss? It's okay. Apple decided to like level out the iOS years with our actual years. All right, let's get into the sad part, which is why did Frutiger Aero eventually die? I can break this down into 3 simple words. The flat revolution. Everything wanted to be flat. Everything wanted to be cool, minimalist, very, very, very chill and laid back, very like business-esque, if that makes sense. And if you want somebody to blame for all of this, you can low-key blame this all on Apple. Apple killed everything that was considered Frutiger Aero or like skeuomorphism, any of that. Apple killed it. And we all know who Apple is. If Apple says do something and like they move on for something, low-key you gotta move on too. And eventually Frutiger Aero started to look like dated and cluttered, and it didn't look as good as it once did because we had it's like if you go from never wearing glasses at all and then getting glasses, and now you're like, whoa, this is so much better. That's the easiest way I could explain it. But we as people, our fiending for nostalgia, now look back and miss what we once had, which is why that type of stuff is being like revived now. Also, the move did shift a little bit. The 2008 financial crash made techno optimism feel a little naive. Like, people weren't as optimistic as they once were. People wanted clean and reliable interfaces, and shiny bubbles and loads of water and dolphins started to feel very childish. But like I mentioned before, guess what? It is making a comeback. Nostalgia bait is a dangerous thing. It's the same way like camcorders and all of that type of stuff is starting to come back too, or digital cameras, and like, yeah, nah, it's nostalgia scary, bro. Frutiger Aero is getting a new kind of love from a generation that didn't really experience it, which is also really cool. The internet is pretty much craving stuff to be weird again, and they want like a lot more variety and personality to how stuff looks visually now. And I definitely respect that a lot. Everything looks the same, everything's boring, everything's stale. And so I respect the need or the desire to want stuff to look different or pop again. Now, will we ever officially get back to that type of stuff? Probably not. Frutiger Aero wasn't just a visual trend. It was the internet at a certain point in time. It was what defined the future and what defined everything that we know and love today for a certain period of time. It might have been shiny, it might have been over-designed, and it might have been a little bit too much, but that was cool. And it had what a lot of stuff doesn't have today, which is a personality. So next time you look back at old tech and wonder how people worked and lived off of it, just remember that was a period of time where the internet was new, and that was the future. Now our future, we don't, what is it, the Cybertruck? I don't know. What does the future look like now? We don't have a visual representation of the future like we did back then. We all seen that one picture that people be using when it's like the world if Shawn Mendes didn't make this album, and like it's the futuristic cars and the buildings, da 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 da. Like that's what people thought it was, and so they really did think the future was gonna be like that. They thought 2025 we were gonna have flying cars. We don't have flying cars. Instead, we have, I don't know, what do we have? We have Skibbity Toilet, bro. Like, come on, bro. Anyways, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my breakdown when you could have watched any other breakdown on YouTube about this type of stuff. I truly do appreciate you so much. So much. This is my first time doing this type of content. If you do want to see more content like this, please do let me know. I'm new to this like long form content thing. I've made short form content for almost 3 years. Not even almost 3 years. I've made short form content for 4 years actually. And so doing long form content and talking to a camera for more than 60 seconds is scary to me. So definitely let me know if you want to see more like this. Definitely let me know if I missed anything that was important. And you got games on your phone? Like, I don't know. Bye. Like go somewhere. Bye.